Hello, team. We're back.
Hi.
Yay!
This is
We made it.
Yeah, we did it. We made it through the holidays. We did not explode of too much turkey. And we hope you enjoyed Two Rolls Giving, our show match that we did. If you missed that, be sure to check it out on YouTube. But this is Eye on the Storm. We're back to our regularly scheduled program. We're here with a special guest to tell you a little bit about Heroes, what goes on in the community, some strategy stuff about the game, and we do this every week. This is my co-host, Gillyweed.
Hi guys, I'm Gillyweed. This is my co-host Anna Prosser Robinson, and I don't know which way you are, so I'm just gonna point everywhere. Yay! But this is Eye on the Storm. If you are not familiar with the show, it's all about Heroes of the Storm, a hero brawler by Blizzard. And a little bit about our podcast, how it works. We bring on a guest to talk a little bit about what's happening in the game, what's happening in the community, and we also have a play session as well, where we will be highlighting this week the newest map, Towers of Doom, and a special flying hero that we will tell you more about later and give you a build for. Finally, we'll end with some spotlights of things happening in the community, and throughout, if you have any questions for us or our guest, please tweet using the hashtag StormShow or put it in chat. I'll do my best to watch for those questions so that we can get them in the show.
Yep, and of course we are on Misscliks. Misscliks is an online community and live stream channel that's devoted to uplifting and providing support for women role models in geek and gaming culture. We're really happy to be a part of that, so if you haven't checked out Misscliks before, please feel free to do so, and thanks to them for having us on. We hope you like our show as well as a lot of the other shows that happen throughout the week. Gilly and I are both on some other shows, so be sure to check out their schedule. But, as you notice, there is a beautiful face in between our two faces. Gilly, I'm on your left, and so is Mike. Michael Udall is here. You guys may remember him, but Mike, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Gilly. Thank you, misscliks, for having me. First off, I'm so excited. So my name is Michael Udall. My in-game name is also Michael Udall. So Michael Udall. This is my second time being on Misscliks. I actually played in Heroes of the Dorm, so I was on the ASU team. So most people know me by. I played the last Vikings. That's my thing. I have been playing professionally now for about 6 months. I've been playing on Kappa Wolves. Mainly, I had like a little swap around with teams. But we recently just got picked up, so we're now Panda Global. I know that's jumping ahead, but so I'm now Panda Global, but I was on Kappa Wolves for a while. I'm a sophomore in college. I play video games from my parents' basement. Pretty much living the dream. So
wait, I thought you told me you were. Thought you told me you were in the kitchen. Isn't that your kitchen?
This is my. Thank you. This is my. Sorry, I brought me a hamburger. This is my office that looks like a kitchen.
Oh,
we just
okay.
go with it and say it's a kitchen.
Okay.
I mean, look at the cupboards. They look like a kitchen.
It does kind of. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny when I thought you were in your kitchen, so I'll keep living that dream and just
I mean, I play in the kitchen. I like cook eggs over here. Like there's water. It's
Well,
amazing.
you did just get a hamburger magically, so it counts as a
I'm
You
win.
just appeared. You held out your hand and a
Yeah.
hamburger.
I mean, have you ever thought of like how convenient it would actually be if you played video games from your kitchen? Because
No,
like when
but-
I get up for two things, right? To go to the bathroom or to go get food or water, right? So it's
Yeah.
like cut that time in half. I get like more gaming time in. I mean, revolutionize the whole way gamers play. So
This
I was
is
going to
really
say that
smart.
maybe the only thing that would be more efficient is if you just played straight from the toilet.
But maybe
Ooh,
less.
I didn't know.
Kitchen's good too.
Maybe a little less appetizing for other people who might be, because we like to eat and watch streams too. So
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Um,
Kitchen's way better.
But as Mike mentioned, the acquisition of Panda Global, I don't know if you call that an acquisition, the pickup of Panda Global.
I think it's pickup.
Is actually what we're going to cover for our community section of the show here today. So kind of we want to talk to you, Mike, about the formation of Kappa Wolves, your journey from playing in Heroes of the Dorm and being a pro Heroes of the Storm player. And actually just before the show, you were mentioning that you're going back to school next semester. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your evolution as a player first, before we really get into Panda Global? Where did you start playing Heroes of the Storm? When did you think you were going to become a pro gamer? What does that mean, being a pro gamer for you right now?
So I'm just gonna start off with like the evolution, right? So I've been playing Heroes of the Storm for about a year. I've only been playing professionally about 6 months. So I first started actually playing the game last January. I never really played. It was just like casually, like I'd play it in between classes, like when I had free time. Because I was a full-time student last year. I was a freshman at college. And then Heroes of the Dorm rolled around. So for those of you who don't really know about Heroes of the Dorm, it's essentially Blizzard put on this collegiate tournament where colleges all around North America essentially competed against each other, and the winner got college tuition. So my team ended up, we made it all the way to finals and lost. So that was amazing. It was actually like the greatest, it's a highlight of my freshman year. Like I have no regrets. I love it so much. I'm so thankful for Blizzard and everyone that put it on. So essentially we made it to the finals, and then it was broadcasted on ESPN. It was like a really huge event. It was the biggest tournament for Heroes of the Dorm like to date. So that kind of like got my name out there. I never really, like growing up, it always been like, I'd love to play video games professionally. But kind of like growing up, I also was like, I'd love to be a football player, like a professional football player. It's not really something I thought was feasible until I actually finished that tournament and had like a couple of my team members on the ASU team, primarily Akaface and Param, who asked me if I wanted to play professionally on Cap Wolves with them. So I got really lucky. They, kind of nurtured me and helped me grow as a player. So the history of Cap Wolves, it was a team that FAM, PHAM, and Psalm actually created together in, I think, Alpha. So it's been around for like a long time. It's had like a lot of roster changes. I think the funniest one is, so our current roster right now is Big Impact, Akaface, B-Kid, Psalm, and myself. And Psalm was actually one of the co-founders, and then he got kicked, and then we picked him up again just about a month ago. So that's my favorite little story.
That's rough.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the original roster was. I think it was Akaface. And I know Akaface, Psalm, and Fam were on it, but I don't know the other two players.
What is everyone's role on the current team?
Oh, so Psalm is our main tank player. He also shot calls and does like most of the draft. And then B-Kid, him and I both play flex. He was a tank player for a really long time, so he's a lot better at tank. So if we draft a second tank, we'll throw him on it. But if we play melee assassins, that's my role. Don't try to steal it. That's my thing. And then Big Impact, he is our range carry player, so he plays like all the Kael'thas, Walla, Jaina, boring heroes that we don't really like. And then Akaface is our support player.
Yeah, I have lots of memories of B-Kid. I think playing a lot of Muradin, and I love Akaface's Brightwing too. And then of course your Kerrigan is something that I have a lot of good memories of watching.
Fun hero.
Games of.
It's my favorite hero, hands down. Oh,
Yeah?
it's the best. Yeah.
Yes.
It's Queen of Blades.
Kerrigan fan club.
She's
It's
great.
okay. Akaface and I will make the Brightwing fan club of 2. Iacona can join us.
Akaface is obsessed with that hero. I remember, so Heroes of the Dorm, he played that hero, I think, every single game in the finals. All 5 games he played Brightwing. So, very, very diverse pool. So it was awesome.
Well, and so I want to talk a little bit about, before you guys got picked up, I want to talk about being picked up as well, but when you were Kappa Wolves, and it sounds like you were saying that you actually took a semester off of school to be a pro gamer, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so this semester I took it off. I that was like part of the reason. I also wasn't that focused in school because Heroes of the Dorm was like the weekend before my finals, so I like came back like I was super hyped but like super bummed at the same time, because like we had just lost. But I kind of took the semester off to refocus, and really I questioned like why I was going to college because I didn't have a sufficient answer for myself, right? Like I didn't necessarily know what major I wanted to do, and all I really knew is that like I was pretty good at video games and I really wanted to play them professionally, and that's why I took the semester off. I also was streaming. I haven't been streaming as much recently just because I've been really busy, but I am definitely going to keep playing pro while I'm at college next semester.
So have you figured out what it is that you're wanting to do in college? Like a major that you're maybe looking at, or?
I really enjoy people, right? So I'm looking into going something into like the sociology. I don't know. I is that bad? I'm not positive. I
didn't know my major until I was like a
classes that I
junior.
love. Yeah. What did you guys major in? Am I allowed to ask that, or did you guys graduate?
Yeah.
No shade.
It's always a valid question because people who end up in esports have the most random majors. Nobody majors in
hope.
esports. Yeah. Gilly, go ahead.
I majored in mass media, so digital communications was my emphasis in it. There's like lots of different emphases. So film and video, and my main thing was video editing. And I had a minor in communications. What about you, Anna?
I was a dual major and a minor, so I had speech communication, which is the same discipline as Gilly, but not the delivery as much as like the theory of how we communicate and why we communicate. So I did a lot of like the very heady.
That's how
like,
mine was, like my minor.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like the theory of rhetoric and all that kind of stuff. So that, and then international studies was my second major, so how we communicate across cultures and that kind of stuff. And then my minor was in Spanish. So mine was a lot about how to talk, why we talk, how we talk to each other, how the evolution of talking to each other happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Like, I think it's very interesting. So
I loved sociology, though. I took a lot of really
Yeah.
good sociology classes. So
well, and that's my thing is, so freshman year I took philosophy, a psychology, and a sociology class, and those are the classes that like I got A's in all of them because I was like very engaged and like very passionate about it because it's something I was very interested in learning. Whereas like my business classes, it was just kind of like I'm here because I need this for my major. So
Yeah.
I like this semester I'm taking like a lot of classes that I'm really excited for. So like I'm taking like a nutrition class and then like a human development and then the psychology of like socialization, so like how people interact essentially. Yeah,
Cool.
so I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. College is cool.
yeah, and ultimately, esports is such a young, growing industry. A lot of people ask us, what should I major in to go into esports? And it's really, you should major in and take the classes in whatever is exciting to you, and then figure out how that fits in esports, because there's going to be a place for it in the esports.
That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a tangent there, but
Sorry.
but then you're in school, you're a student, you were with Kappa Wolves, and that was what we would call maybe an unsigned team. So tell
Yeah.
us about being on an unsigned team, and what were some of the cool parts of that, and what were some of the challenges?
So, sorry, I'm taking us on that tangent. So being
Oh, no worries. We were there with you, man.
Actually, so before that, so I've always like kind of questioned like what does it mean to be a pro gamer? Because like for a while, I was like, oh, I'm a pro gamer, but like I guess like I went like being like a pro athlete is like you get paid for it, right?
Mhm.
Like being a pro gamer, like I got money off like tournament winnings, but, like I never really got like a salary, if that makes sense. So I think like once you get picked up is like when you really know that you are one, like you are a pro gamer. So I think that is like a big transition between the two. Being on an unsigned team was difficult, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun. Like there's not like a huge change, right? Like I'm still playing the same game, like I still practice the same amount of time, except you have like a lot less support, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like without having someone to like help us, like so say we have a tournament in China, like I can't pay for a ticket to go to China, like they would help like front that. So I think it's awesome to also be like kind of like a part of a team.
Mhm.
So it is difficult being on an unsigned team. I don't think there is any upside. That maybe there's more competition between finding people that would like choose you. So I'm definitely very happy to be picked up. My guess is your next question is how is it to be on a signed team now, right? Or,
Well, first, before that, because I'm assuming that as an unsigned team, you guys were always looking to become a signed team to be picked
Yeah.
up. So what were some of the things you guys did? Because we often get questions from people who are on teams that are like, I'd really like to show that I deserve to be picked up. And you guys successfully did that. So what were some of the things that you did to gain the attention of someone who would pick up your team?
ultimately, so like there are a couple. Like ultimately, you have to be good, right? You have to win. Like that's the best way to attract sponsors is to perform well in like big tournaments. I'd say also actively looking, because like there's things on like Skype and like on like your Twitter, you can say like part of Capitals, like business inquiries, email me here kind of a thing. And I know our manager and a couple of our players did that. And that's how they got a lot of the contacts from like a couple of different organizations that talked to us. But ultimately, I think the biggest part is that you have to perform well. And then because if they're looking for a HOTS team, if you're doing well, they're going to know who you are and they're going to approach you. So that would be the best advice, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, sorry to switch topics really fast, but would you mind checking the connection of your microphone?
yeah. Is it?
It's like getting louder and then quieter and then louder and then quieter. And
It
so-
seems to have to do with maybe I don't know what mic you're using, but it seems to have to do with when you move, maybe too.
When I move, oops.
Which is why I was checking.
I could just not move.
Never move again.
Never move. I'm too like ADD. Let me see. I'll turn it up just a tiny bit.
That was weird because when you said that, you got really quiet. It was like the opposite of
Yeah.
turning it up.
Sorry, and like throw us on another tangent, but it
Okay.
was like the mic.
We rely on technology. It is a necessary evil for our show.
I mean, this is my first time using Zoom, so my guess is that has something to do with it.
Some sort of auto mic setting. Well, don't worry too much about it because it is pretty clear. People are saying they can hear you. Just
Yeah, just wanted to check the connection, make sure that we didn't like lose you all together.
All right, I'll just try and move less.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about Panda Global now, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about them because they are a fairly new phenomenon, I guess, in the esports scene. But I noticed here, Anna, that you put that they have a pro Splatoon team, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it is. So I was just putting that because Panda Global, I found out, has actually only been around for 3 months. I feel like I have seen them around longer, but that's what their website says. So I was surprised because they feel like such an established place. And then they have all these different teams. They've got Fighting, Smash, Super Smash Brothers Melee, as well as Wii U. And then they've got this Heroes team and Splatoon team and Hearthstone players as well. So they're like really ramping it up pretty quick. And I believe they had a Heroes team. They picked up Plays previously. And then now are picking up Capwolf. So I don't know if you can give us any insight into the reason for the switch or anything, Mike. But what do you think of your new team?
I love Panda Global. They've been awesome to us. Like you said, they are like a new org, but they seem very credible from all like my interactions with them. I know their Smash players are like top tier, so I know their Smash players are like really, really good. So like I'm really happy to be a part of like I have like family that's pretty good in like other sports, like, which is awesome because like it gives me someone to cheer for. Because like whenever I'll watch like professional Smash or like professional Hearthstone, like I don't know any of these players and I don't really have anyone to cheer for, but now it's like I do, so like that part's fun. So a little insight into the plays. Essentially the team just disbanded. A couple of the players wanted to part ways, so they ended up like dropping the roster because they didn't have a full roster, and then they still wanted to get a Heroes team, so they approached us.
That's really cool.
My favorite thing about Panda Global by far is their Twitter account, which I also posted one of their tweets in chat because they tweet so many random panda GIFs and pictures.
Their GIFs are so good.
You can actually check out, so this is the tweet where they announced that they had picked up Capwolves, and then directly following that tweet, they tweeted at us, at Anna Prosser and at Gillyweed and at Forecourt Jester, a panda GIF of a panda saying hi. We're back.
We're back. It's so good.
Yeah. And that cemented their place in my heart for sure.
Yes. They have some of the best panda tweets, and like I remember when they were doing like they did have the plays before, and they would do like really supportive of their teams, which was really cool, and they'd always post panda pictures as the team was playing. So I'm very excited that Panda Global has a Heroes team again and that you guys are on it, because I need me some bear tweets.
That's what I was gonna say. Whoever's in charge of their Twitter deserves a raise.
Yeah.
So I know I want to get a Panda onesie. I don't know if they sell that. Like I don't know if anyone from Panda Global's watching, but I'll wear it. I'll rep.
Dude, I bet it is not that hard out there on the internet to get your hands on a panda onesie.
I think it'd be so.
I was gonna offer to make you one, but I'm pretty sure those exist. All right, cool. So tell us a little bit about you mentioned cheering for your teammates, which is really, really cool. Tell us a little bit about what the negotiation process was like, or how you went from like, oh, Panda Global is interested in us, to like, okay, I'm actually signing on. I work for Panda Global now.
So I can't go into like specific numbers, but so it's negotiations. Like there's a lot of back and forth. Like this is what we're looking for in a HOTS team, and then we tell them like this is what we're looking for in an organization. Obviously, like numbers like change around a little bit, but as soon as we talked to them, we kind of knew that they were a good fit. Because I have a lot of friends on the plays who are the former Panda Global, and they had like nothing but good things to say. So which is kind of rare because like a lot of the not top tier, like really well known organizations are like a little shady, and like it's hard to get a straightforward answer. And Panda was always very straightforward with what they told us. So like we knew what we were gonna get it, and they've delivered. So the negotiations process, like they approached us a couple months ago, and ever since then, like they have a couple of people that essentially like interviewed with us and like asked us about our past, essentially like the questions that you started with, like, hey, your name's Michael, like tell me about you, like what have you been doing, like what are you doing now, what's your time commitment to Heroes, like how long do you plan to play the game. Is that pretty explanation?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking for. The chat is currently in a heated discussion of how they can immediately get you a Panda onesie. That's why we can hear Gillyweed's typing frantically there. She's organizing that in the chat.
We're organizing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a pool. The only requirement is that you wear it on stream sometime.
Oh, I'll wear it on I have a 24-hour stream coming up, and if I get the Panda onesie by then, I will wear the Panda onesie the whole 24-hour stream.
Dude, 24-hour streams are intense, man.
It's gonna be my first one. I'm excited.
That's awesome. You'll have to let us know when that is. We'll tweet it out for you, and we'll sit with you as long as we can. I don't know. I don't sit up for 24 hours. That's for you college kids. You guys keep doing that.
It's me.
So I mean, we do want to move on to our game discussion, but before we do, I just wanted to get a general sense of, you are officially a pro gamer now. You're getting a salary, you're being, you're picked up by a team, so
made it.
Yeah, so you and your teammates, but especially you, are you guys, do you aspire to be pro gamers for the long haul? Is that the career that you want, or what are you looking for in esports?
So for the long haul, I would say no, because like I don't think esports is being a professional gamer. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's something I could do until like I was 60. But I think definitely into my 20s, it's something that I hope that I'm doing, because it's something I love. Like I love competition. I love video games, and I'm in a really good spot right now. So I think definitely for the next couple of years, for me at least, I know I want to play video games professionally. I could see myself hoping maybe I could transition into like casting after that, or maybe dream job work at Blizzard. Holla at me.
What's up, Blizzard? Holla.
I mean, I definitely would love to stay engaged in esports to some extent. I don't know if I'd be able to play professionally for a really long time, but definitely for the next couple of years, I'm here to stay. So whether you like it or not, I'm here, team.
Cool. Well, we like to hear that, for sure. That's a great place to segue into talking about the game that you love so much. So today, we have had so many new things coming out for Heroes of the Storm, and, it's been crazy with BlizzCon and the holidays, so we wanted to give you guys a little bit of a deep dive this time into the new map, Towers of Doom. So we're just going to kind of go over that, talk about each piece of this map, make sure that we've given you all the info in case you haven't had time to look it up yourself, and then talk a little bit with Mike about strategy and different heroes that might be good on this map, ways that he's found to play on this battleground, and all of that. So, Gilly, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So Towers of Doom is our new battleground, and with it, by the way, when it came into play, Haunted Mines was taken out of the rotation. You can still pick it for custom games, but it is out of the pool for like quick match, hero league, team league, that kind of thing. So it's a large 3-lane map. It's a battle between the Raven Lord, who is the announcer for Cursed Hollow, and then the Gravekeeper, who is the announcer for Haunted Mines, which is really cool. That they're like in this epic battle, kind of like Ilarion and Beleth from the 2 Diablo maps.
And I thought it was kind of cool to note that this is like Heroes lore developing, I guess.
Yeah.
So these are two characters in the Heroes universe that are now battling on a map, and it was created around them. And that's the first time I feel like we've really seen that happen.
Yeah, it's really cool that, I mean, it's hard to make lore between the heroes, like, they've been making all this lore up about the heroes that are in Overwatch, but we already have lore about all of our heroes because they come from separate games. And so maybe eventually we'll have some conversations that cross 2 different games, but for now the lore kind of comes from conversations between heroes from the same universe. But this is a way to have some lore that is just directly for Heroes of the Storm, which is really cool because we had yet to have that.
Yeah, and this map is so new. Usually what we do when we do a deep dive for you guys is we'll show you the Blizzard BattleNet breakdown map that we can zoom into and show you all the lanes and stuff. It's so new they don't even have that. So I'm actually going to show you some freeze frames from this video. But we can start talking a little bit about the mechanics. It's really interesting how this map works. You cannot damage your enemy's core directly. You have to use the battleground mechanic, which I think is really, really fun. I've talked a little bit before about how I really like Blackheart's Bay for that reason, that you could choose to never engage with structures if you wanted. You could choose to never team fight if you wanted. This map maybe not so much like that, but it just forces you to approach the battleground of a hero brawler / MOBA style game in a different way than you normally would. So the way this works is we've got these 6 bell towers here in the map. You've got 3 on one side, 3 on the other, 1 in each lane for each team. And you're trying to control as many as those bell towers as you can. So when you take one from your enemy's side, you take it down, it will kind of be reborn as one of your own. And then those, when we have, okay, this is really hard to explain, even though it's really exciting. Then I'm going to show you this next screenshot because I wish I had this map to show you. But we've also got altars that will spawn on the map. We've got 1 in the bottom, 1 in the mid, and 2 in the top of the map. Those spawn, and once they do, as soon as you capture one of those, whichever bell towers you control will shoot projectiles at your enemy's core. And each one of those projectiles does 1 damage. And there's 40 total damage or 40 total health that can be done to each core. And you just cannot hit the core yourself. You have to use projectiles to do that.
Your core also attacks when you pick up an altar. So even if you only had that and didn't have any of the bell towers, if you're still got an altar, it would still fire 1. But you obviously want to have as many bell towers as possible. All of the bell towers also have names, which is really cool.
It's like a Raffy Basin, and wow, it's so cool.
Yeah, they each have their own names, which is really cool. I haven't even learned them yet. I know one's like the Graveyard, I think, but definitely kind of a neat way of adding more lore to the map. Also, if you control all of the bell towers, your core begins to steadily fire projectiles at their core. Because it's kind of like, okay, obviously this is end game scenario, and it's pretty one-sided. Each core is also surrounded by a kill zone. Don't go in there. There's like a line around it. Do not cross that line. I did that when I was playing Lunar at BlizzCon, and I died in 2 hits. Those things are they're painful.
I think they toned down the damage after BlizzCon, actually.
Did they?
Because at BlizzCon, like if you watch it, you die in like a second. But
yeah,
you scream down it a couple of times, and you can dive people. I don't suggest it actually. Let's do it. You'll die. But.
See, you say that to me, and my brain's instantly like, "What? I can go more ham? What?"
Occasionally, like you could get 1 auto and then like run out.
Because both Gilly and I at BlizzCon were like, "Oh yeah, it's dangerous to go in there, but we're good Heroes players. We can go in there." And then both of us were just eliminated immediately.
I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as BlizzCon, because BlizzCon, they were crazy.
It was nuts.
But I think the idea is just that's the part of the map that you cannot go to. Like, just don't, Blizzard wanted to explain, you cannot get in your enemy's base. That's not what this map is for.
Oh, they also did the little whirlwind thing where the whirlpool, not whirlwind, the whirlpool thing, like you can teleport from your base, like the middle of the map. I thought that was such a cool mechanic. I love the new map. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that happens at 12 minutes. Yeah. So there's a transportation tunnel. You can see it here on the map very vaguely. There's 1 portal in each core and then 1 in the middle. So the exit for the transportation tunnel is the same for both teams, but the entrance is different. So that can make for lots of really interesting, cool surprise battles. But it's a cool way to move around the map, kind of a built-in Nidus network.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's also new mercenary camps. There are 3 camps of goblin sappers or pumpkin heads.
The pumpkins, yeah.
Pumpkins. Yeah, they do AoE attacks, but they also have kamikaze bomb. Yeah, they'll just run into structures and do massive area damage. All of them can take out a tower, I think, from full health. They're very strong. And it says you put if they make it to the kill zone, they basically become extra projectiles, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the animation's really cute too. I thought that was really cool because if you can make it so the sappers actually get to that kill zone instead of being taken out by the towers or doing any damage to the cannons there, they'll actually hop the fence and do damage to the core, and each one of them does 1 damage just like a projectile. So that's 3 extra damage you can take out if you can kind of escort the sappers all the way up to the kill zone.
Yeah, and like the Merc camps, there's also a different boss, the Headless Horseman. He is crazy strong, but if you defeat him, it fires 4 projectiles on the enemy core. So a lot of just attacking the core. Like it's all about everything that like attacks the core. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's like an economy to it, you know. There's so many resources on the map that you can grab, and you're just trying to get as many of those resources as quickly as you can to take down the opponent's core. And it was funny when we were playing this at BlizzCon before people kind of understood how the map worked. People were running around doing a lot of fighting, trying to push lanes and stuff, and then all of a sudden the game would be over and, you know, your core would be gone because the other team was just paying attention to making sure that they were getting as many projectiles as possible.
That's what I was gonna say. The map feels like a little snowball-y, just because early game projectiles do the same amount of damage as late game projectiles. Like capping a trib like level 1 does the same. I don't know what to call them. I call them tribs. Capping a trib level 1 does the same amount of damage as capping a trib level 20. So like I think late game comps are definitely not very strong. Well, I think they can come back. I think globals and like poke comps are really good on the map. I think it's a lot of fun. I love that I just love the whole setup of having different maps because I think it makes balancing a lot easier because you can have a hero that like Gazelle that could be like really good on a map like Sky Temple, but like there's no way you're ever gonna pick Gazelle on like Tomb because you're just gonna get wrecked. But like it makes it so that all the heroes are balanced because like they can be played on different maps, if that makes sense. I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, is seeing, as a programmer, seeing this map added to the pool, how do you think that affects the way things are done right now? And what I mean by that is it going to change the variety of heroes that we're going to see? Is it going to change the overall thinking on how you approach a game at all? Or is it just going to be kind of another map that may have a few good heroes on it, but generally you want the same mix of things?
I think this map in particular, cheesy comps are not as good because say like you ran like a Asmodan like full pushing build, like a Sylvanas and like a Zagara and like a Gazelle, and you just push to their core and win, right? Like something on this map doesn't work because you have to fight. Like if you don't fight at the tribs, like you can't just sack a trib like you can on Curse Hollow, and like it doesn't really matter because like the enemy team has to get three tribs before like anything happens. Like you're losing core health. And that's like permanent. Like there's no way to bring it back. I also don't think mules are very good on this map. Just because like taking structures, like it matters, but it really doesn't matter that much. Like you could give them theoretically pretty much all your forts except one, and if you're capping all the tribs, you're still going to win the game. So I think this map is very different on the heroes that are good. Like I still think the main damage dealers, like something like a KT or like a Jaina, will still always be picked up. But I think we'll see a lot more play from a hero like Falstad or like a Zagara, just because creep on this map is really, really good, as well as being able to poke them down and getting like global experience is really good. I think Aswa will be good in Shogal too. Sorry, that's a lot of heroes I think will be good.
No, that's great to know. People who are watching are going to want to try, whatever heroes you think are really good on that map. So that's fun to hear. Do you think of any particular teams or playstyles that are going to be really shining on this map?
Well, I know C9 really likes playing. I mean, they're playing in China, but I know they really like playing Falstad, and then their unkillable comp with Murky will probably be pretty good on this map. Just because, like, it's the same as Curse Hollow, where you just never end. Like, they can kill you as many times as they want, but essentially you're going to win by attrition. So I think that style is really good on this map. I think Team Blaze will do pretty well because they have a really good Abathur player. I don't know though, because they like to do push comps too. I think Lost Vikings could be really good on this map too. I haven't played that much. I haven't experimented that much on that map, but I think it's going to bring like a lot of heroes that used to be played a lot more or aren't played that often. We'll see some play, especially Vikings. I think that would be really cool. So I think C9 in plays, they'll do pretty well, to answer your
Cool.
question.
And how is Panda Global going to do?
Oh, I mean, we're gonna win. I just that was assuming we're gonna do the best. That's like for second place, of course.
What do you think, Gilly? Do you have any teams that you think are going to be particularly shining on this map for the reason of, like, Mike was saying that early game is going to be really important. Have you seen anyone particularly shine?
Sylvanas, definitely. And I initially was like, oh, this is just going to be a team fighting map. It's not going to be, there's no place for push or kind of the split push, be everywhere that your opponents are not type of composition. But I think that was so wrong of me to think that, because in my opinion, as Mike was saying, it feels like it can be snowbally. I've also seen some very close games, several very close games. But it does feel like, for the most part, generally, whomever gets the first bell tower and has the 4 is the team that starts to really pull ahead and win, unless they make some big mistakes. Because from that point on, you can go to another one, and the opponent's team, you have to wait a while before you can attack the fort and take it back. And at that point, usually altars are starting to spawn, so you're just behind and positioning for it, and like you're playing catch up constantly from there. But like I've said, I've played some really close games, but it just seems to me that like having some good push heroes really does help.
What do you think this map, well, first, before we go there, we talk a little bit often about when we have these new maps, what do we think Blizzard is probably going to do on them? Do you think we're going to see future changes on this battleground that's going to make it a little less snowbally? Do you think that it's going to stay the way it is because they really want to just have a map that's very different? What do you guys think?
I'll go first. I don't really know how they would make it less snowbally. Because like the comeback mechanic is late game there are more tribs, right? So there are 3 chips that spawn, and the only problem with that is you can essentially just trade. So like we'll give you 2 and we'll take 1, but since your core is at 20% health or like 20 health and ours at 40, like we're eventually gonna win. So maybe making it so that late game, but I don't even like that. I think they'll leave it how it is. I mean, I think the map's fine. It's just like a little bit snowbally, but you just don't draft like super late game and you'll be fine. I like the map.
Yeah, I sometimes think we use the word snowbally and it's like, oh, it's so bad if the map's snowbally, but maybe snowbally isn't necessarily always a bad thing. Maybe that's how this game goes.
It's it can produce some really long games, this map. So I think it's fine how it is. I don't think it should be changed to make it any more, because then, Blizzard always talks about how they want the average game time to be fairly short. Yeah. And even as you get teams that are closer, the game length tends to go up. That's why pro matches tend to go a lot longer. So I like keeping it how it is, and maybe they'll come up with changes later on, but I definitely think that it takes being more familiar with the map before they can really make those decisions, like the public being really familiar with the map.
I was gonna say, instead of saying snowball, we could just say it's like early to mid game oriented. Like,
yeah, that's a really good point.
It's just how we phrase it.
Yeah,
I think the map's great. I really like it. It looks so cool too. I think the graphics on that map are like superb. So.
Yeah. Sorry for the blurry screenshot I've got for you guys, but as soon as we get that, if you go on actually heroesofthestorm.com or battle.net for Heroes of the Storm, you can check out the battlegrounds in really close detail. I recommend you do that once they finally come out with that map on the website, because that's a really cool way to start to get to know the map from a really top-down perspective. But before we wrap up talking about Towers of Doom, I wanted to mention that this is a little bit of a departure. We've seen Blizzard at BlizzCon a couple times and very frequently lately talking about how Heroes of the Storm is not supposed to be a traditional MOBA. They really want to think about how they can break us out of the rules that we think we know about these type of games, and they want to really make things that are a little bit different, a little bit new, and that surprise us. And I think this is an attempt at that. What do you guys think this tells us about the direction of Blizzard in the development of future Battlegrounds or in moving the game forward?
Well, I mean, I think a big thing is look at Cho'Gall. Like, I think that's like...
You're stealing my answer, Mike.
I think it's like just as big of like a reflection. Like, I love that they're like breaking the box that MOBAs are in, right? Because like it's not a MOBA, it's a hero brawler. Like, yeah, it's like kind of the same genre, but they're not going to succeed first off if they just make another MOBA like with Blizzard characters, because the other MOBAs have such a strong base. Like I love that they're trying to branch out and they're trying to make things that attract other MOBA players or attract new people. Because like by now, if people haven't started playing like League of Legends or Dota or Smite or Han, like they're not interested in playing a MOBA. Like simply put, like there are so many MOBAs out there that you can't just try and copy paste. You need to make something very new, and I love that Blizzard is doing that with just everything. Everything they've done is very unique, and I think they should keep doing that, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Is that your answer, Gillyweed?
Yeah. Well, I think one thing is it's a BlizzCon announcement, right? So they want to do something that's just like, what? Crazy? So they come up with a map that is like, guess what, guys? You can't attack the core. Just, very different. And they came out with the arena announcement, which was like 5 Illidan's versus 5 Illidan's. Whoa! And then they released the Cho'Gall announcement too, which is, the Cho'Gall virus and 2 players on 1 hero. So they're really going for some pretty crazy announcements. But I definitely agree that they're going to continue to try to push the bounds when it comes to this type of game. And I think that's absolutely necessary to continue to differentiate heroes from other games of its type and to keep people interested in like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do next? We have a ranged warrior. We have 2 heroes or 2 people playing 1 hero. And we have a hero that sits in base basically the whole time. And we have a hero that you actually control 3 heroes and it's 1 person controlling it. So like there's a lot of really cool things that we have that really push the bounds of its genre. And yeah, I think that means that they're going to continue to do that, which makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, anything else that we want to touch on for Towers of Doom Deep Dive before we move into our hero spotlight?
I have nothing else on Towers of Doom, but I do have some questions for Michael Udall once we're good.
Yeah, well, what we usually do, I guess, is we do our Q&A during our play session, but we could take a little while. I mean, we could take a little while to do questions here because I think there are a lot of questions for Michael Udall. Do you want to do it now?
I've got 3 so far. So one of them depends on if you saw DreamHack. Did you watch DreamHack at all?
I watched a little bit. I was out of town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just actually caught up on VODs today. So I was also trying to play catch up. But did you happen to see any of the damage Karazim?
Yeah, the DPS monk, yeah.
Yeah, so basically Stark SCII wanted to know what your opinion on the damage Karazim is and if maybe that's something that you guys would ever consider playing.
For sure. It worked in the couple games I watched at DreamHack. I'm pretty sure both monk games he won. So it's definitely something we should be looking at. And I have been playing him a little bit. I think it's definitely a good idea. I haven't played it enough to give you the most accurate answer, but I mean, it works. Like, it proved itself in DreamHack. So like, that's definitely something that we'll probably start playing. I don't know if it fits as much in NA's meta, but maybe we'll whip it out one game and, surprise people.
It's interesting to see that being used since his non-transcendence traits were buffed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I think when Lowell was playing him, they won, but I think there was another team who was also playing him, and he didn't fare so well. But it is still cool. It's cool to see these heroes switching sides. Mantis and Spanky McPants want to know what brand of conditioner you use.
Oh, wait. Oh, I moved my bottle. Dang it. I used to have a conditioner bottle. Mane and Tail, sponsor pending. One day. The dream. I actually don't really. I ran out of conditioner, so I haven't used conditioner in a while. I just use shampoo.
Just naturally conditioned.
All natural. Hand grease. I run my hand through it a lot, so.
Do you get that question a lot? I feel like people like to talk about your hair.
In the esports world, yeah, I get asked a lot about my hair. I think I can thank you for that, Anna. When you first introduced me to people, it was, oh, look at his hair. So that's now what I'm known by, even though I've cut it. But I think
I do feel a little sense of pride about, I think actually, I was just noticing, I'm going to show this. Michael Udall's Twitter picture was taken by yours truly. I took that at Heroes of the Dorm, and I tweeted something like, this kid's going to be a star or something like that. Yeah, so I'll take credit for...
Your little boy's growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Michael Udall's hair, I would like to see a Twitter account for that, a novelty Twitter account where someone tweets for Michael Udall's hair. So that's a
I
free
think it'd be
idea.
good.
Anyone out there?
We can get the
take that?
Panda Global Twitter handler
Yeah.
to take over it. They'll make a lot of good gifts, tweet them at people.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Any other questions right now, Gilly?
Yes, there was a question by Gladman777. Does any of your team provide coaching services?
If anyone does, I have done a tiny bit. I'm not that experienced of a coach, so wait. Can I kind of read something out in chat real quick and then get back to the question?
Yes.
Speaking of Panda Global, they said we only sponsor players with amazing hair like Michael Udall and ESAM. So here it is. Heard it here first. I would say B-Kid. I don't know if you watch B-Kid stream. His stream is BKids2 at Twitch TV. You could just send him a message. He's been playing MOBAs for a really long time. He'd probably be a much better coach than me. But if he doesn't coach, I am always down to giving it a try.
Cool.
So how should people contact you? Or how would they just reach out through Twitch?
The best way would probably be to just tweet at me. Am I supposed to sell it? My Twitter's Mike Udall. MikeUdal.
You're not allowed to promote your own.
Am I not allowed to?
No, you're
That's at the end of
absolutely
the-
allowed.
our
You're
sellout
absolutely.
time is at the end, right? I'm selling out.
No, you can say it
Gosh, dang
whenever.
I'm flashing it over and over again on the screen, so people are
Okay, yeah,
seeing it.
perfect. So it's right above me, I believe. So
It's to your left. Your little, yeah, right there.
yeah, right there. If you just tweet at me, then I can get in contact with you.
All right. Anything else, or should we save the rest of the questions for the play session?
I'll be watching for more questions, but I think we're good for now.
Cool. So before we do get into that play session, we have a brief hero spotlight. We're going to have Mike playing Falstad. Tell us, Mike, why did you want to play Falstad in this play session on Towers of Doom?
Because it's Towers of Doom, and I think Falstad is so strong on this map. He's also, he was a hero that was like in the meta like 4 months ago, right? When I first started playing competitive, he was picked up all the time. We played him in Heroes of the Dorm. With the GP changes and like a couple of his talent moved around, no one really played him until K1 Pro whipped him out, I think, in the BlizzCon finals and kind of just like shocked NA, and everyone started playing him and like, oh my gosh, this hero's so good. And he picked Gus, like no one picks Gus. So I think the hero is definitely really, really good. His new auto attack build where you go auto at 147 is really good. Like he has amazing single target burst, as well as Gus being like, I think one of the strongest ults in the game. It's like a huge displacement with like 40-second cooldown. So I think it's really good. That's why I love the hero. I think the hero is so fun. You can make like flashy plays or feed. Normally the latter for me, but I don't know. It's fun. I'm excited.
Well, and you did send us this build that we're looking at right now on stream. So can we talk a little bit about each level, each talent that you picked? Starting with level 1, you picked Updraft. Why is that the best?
That's personal preference. I love Updraft just because I like the ability to like get in deeper or like get out. I would say the alternate is Seasoned Marksman. Like it's like 50-50 on whatever person you talk to. If like it's a good map for Seasoned Marksman, like Dragonshire, Tomb, where you're clearing a lot of waves, I would think about going Seasoned Marksman. But personal preference, I just love Updraft. It feels so good. I don't know. That's just a better way. Like it's personal preference. I'd say Seasoned Marksman is also really good. Yeah. So.
All right, let's move on to level 4. We've got Power Throw.
So Power Throw is pretty much the best choice here because it combos really well with your level 7 talent, which is Secret Weapon. I don't mean to jump the gun, but it explains how you go it. So Secret Weapon essentially for how long your Q's out, every auto. So like when your Q's out, every auto you do does 80% more damage. So increasing the range of it means you get more autos, which means more damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And level 7, we've got Secret Weapon.
Secret Weapon. Is that what did I say Secret Throw? Secret Weapon, that's what I meant. So Secret Weapon does like a lot of damage, a lot of single target damage. It combos really well with your auto attack. So if you do go Seasoned Marksman, you get a lot of value off that, as well as 13, you go Giant Killer, so you get a lot of value off that.
Awesome. And we do see Mighty Gust as your heroic on 10.
It's so good. Hinterland Blast just doesn't do enough damage. Gus gives you a lot of utility, a displacement, slow. It's the instant disengage, or if you're trying to be flashy, you can fly behind their team and Gus them into your team. It's the highlight of playing Falstad. I think it's the better ult, hands down.
I've seen some really cool stuff with that lately for sure. And then you already mentioned at 13 you took Giant Killer.
Yeah, you're going full auto attack, so all your value gets off auto attacks. So get a friend to play medic and stim drone you. And you'll be very happy.
That's awesome. All right, and 16 we have Hammer Time.
So Hammer Time, since so much of your damage is based off autos, what Hammer Time does is when you throw out your Q, if someone's hit by your Q and you auto them, it'll stun them for 0.75 seconds, I want to say, which means you'll be able to get like 3 or 4 more autos in, which will be like 50% of their health. I mean, stuns are always good, and the alternatives there are not that good, so Hammer Time's really good.
Great. And then if we get to 20, you've taken Nexus Frenzy.
So it's either Nexus Frenzy or Epic Mount. They're both really good. If you're going full damage...
Oh, sorry. You did take Epic Mount. I was wrong. You took Epic Mount.
Mount's just more utility. It'd be like around the map.
She was testing you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of went with
passed.
it. It's kind of just 50-50. It depends how much damage I'm going for.
What a pro. He's like, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Anna.
Sure, Anna. Like, yeah, of course.
What a pro. All right. But yeah, Epic Mount.
Yeah, so they're both good. I like Epic Mount more just because having a 20-second fly and instantly flying there is really good. So you can like fly behind their team, gust them, and then like juke around for 15 minutes and like fly back. I like it more. I just like more like utility-based spells. That's why I like updraft at level 1. But Nexus Frenzy, if you're going for full damage, like say you have 2 supports on your team, so something like a Tass and like a Malf, I would definitely go Nexus Frenzy there and probably Seasoned Marksman just because you need extra damage. So it just depends on your comp and what you're running.
Well, I'm excited to see that on Towers of Doom. What do you think our viewers should watch for in your Falstad play when we're playing?
Oh, me flying behind the enemy team and gussing them into my team. That's what I'm going for this game for sure.
Good. All right. Well, I'm excited to see it. Any closing thoughts, guys, or shall we get right into the play session?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, guys, we will be on a break for just a few minutes while we set up our custom game with some of our members of the community who are going to be playing with us. I will be observing, so I'll be kind of quiet so I don't give anything away to the teams. But we'll be right back after this break. In the meantime, if you would like to take the time to follow this channel, you can notify you next time we go live. Be sure to check out Twitter, Michael Udall's Twitter. This would be a good time to do that. And also give a shout out to Panda Global, who is here in chat as well as on Twitter. And we will be back in just a few moments. See you guys soon.